Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Bashem Rachak Wadash. My name is Yakaba from Plaintables Camp. Now these are, you can't keep anything secret. Alright. As Yahushai said, there is nothing hid that should not be made manifest. So secret illegal tunnels in Brooklyn synagogue leads to brawl and arrest. So I heard they were using these tunnels to access the synagogue after hours, and the synagogue leaders claimed not to have any knowledge of what's going on. So you can believe that if you want. And there was apparently a bed, soiled bed, or a bed with a stain on it, and a children's chair found also. But let me read the scripture. Get the scripture here. This is let me get that. There's nothing hid that should not be made manifest. This is Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. All right, that was from the Guardian. We got some more here. Listen to this. All right, now this is a crime. You can't dig without, you got to call 411. You got to have permits and all that. Let's see if they get fined. Or someone got arrested. So the owner, I guess the head of the synagogue, claimed to have no knowledge of what was going on. So it may have been some demonic, freaky shit going on after hours. Let's see. I also heard they were using it to access it during C-19.
Issuing vacate orders to a synagogue over an illegal underground tunnel in the building. Police say 9 men were arrested on criminal mischief and reckless endangerment charges for using a hole they dug in the wall to access the Brooklyn synagogue during off hours. Brad Milkey, host of the Start Here podcast, is here with more on this. Brad, this all came about because police were responding to reports of a damaged wall and a disorderly group outside. So how did that turn into a secret passageway? And what else do you know about what this was being used for?
Yeah, this is a really wild story, Diane. And I think a lot of New Yorkers don't even know when they pass this brick synagogue in Crown Heights and Brooklyn that they're passing one of the most significant religious sites in the city. So this has stood for decades as the center of the Chabad Lubavitcher movement, which is known worldwide. In fact, attracts worshipers from all over the world who come and pray at this synagogue and come and worship. Some people get visas to study at the yeshiva here. And so what leaders of the synagogue found out recently, apparently, was that some followers, some members, had built a secret tunnel going from other buildings into this space, which was shocking to them. They decided this wasn't okay with the leaders of the synagogue. They bring in a cement mixer to fill it all in, and that's when there's this huge confrontation. Men, as if they were protecting sort of a tree in the forest from being torn down, they actually sit in the tunnel itself to keep it from being filled in. Police are called. There's actually a huge brawl at the site. At one point, people were tearing off pieces of wood to kind of create a barricade, and eventually that results in actually a scuffle with police. Irritant gas is used, and then arrests are made. So really an unbelievable situation that actually exposed some pretty deep fissures in this pretty insular community.
So how are officials from this synagogue responding now?
Well, this actually created a pretty deep divide, or exposed a divide that's been there for years, because you have to sort of understand about this religious sect to understand why this tunnel was even being perhaps made, is that for years, this site at 770 Eastern Parkway was led by this world-famous rabbi, known simply as the Rebbe, who created all this. He died in 1994, but until then...
Well, you go to what? Matthew 12:26 said, and if Satan cast, because these are not biblical Israelites, these are Khazar Jays, And we are the biblical Israelites. Let's look down in the description box. And you have Israelites scattered, in every, nation on earth. They look like those people and even have some of their mannerisms. All right. But for the main part, the people on the chart, those are the people. All right. And our people are scattered abroad. And if Satan casts out Satan, this is Matthew 12:26, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So they can't even get along with each other in the same congregation. All right. They always make this claim about, why aren't we all together? Well, the synagogue, the churches, the Muslims, they have different sections too. All right. The only thing the difference is that we actually have the truth. We have the biblical prophecy, and we have the meaning of words on our side. All right. These Khazar Jays don't.
Then he had been arguing for this site to be expanded, saying we need more space. It's actually a pretty cramped space for the number of followers who are there. Well, there are some members of this sect who believe that the Rebbe's not dead. In fact, they see him as a living Messiah. And so in honor of him, there are even disputes over whether they should.
Where is that at in the Torah? Where it says that this Rebbe is going to have pale flesh and wear a head covering to cover his head. You're going to have a synagogue in Brooklyn. Where is it at in the prophecy in Isaiah? All right.
Put a plaque up at the synagogue saying he was dead, because some people said, no, he's not. And so there were arguments over whether, we should expand this site. Some people thought it was moving too slowly. And so some have speculated that some of these sort of young, more extremist men, younger guys, some of them perhaps even from Israel, decided in his honor to build this tunnel. The synagogue says it's a terrible look for the entire.
So you got religious zealots coming from the Levant. All right. He said possibly. I don't know if he can confirm that. But whatever they were doing is some weird, freaky shit. I don't think it was anything good. I don't think it was, this is my opinion, I don't think it was just so they coming into worship after hours. And then they reading the Talmud or the Torah while they in the tunnels to put up some sort of resistance. These are not the people. I think you said it was Hasidic.
Illegal underground tunnel in the building. Police say 9 men were arrested on criminal mischief and reckless endangerment charges for
was moving too slowly, and so some have speculated that not. And so there were arguments over whether, we should expand this site. Some people thought it was moving too slowly, and so some have speculated that some of these sort of young, more extremist men, younger guys, some of them perhaps even from Israel, decided in his honor to build this tunnel. The synagogue says it's a terrible look for the entire religion, for the entire site, and that's why they're so worried, especially considering these guys might have done more harm than good. Like you said, they're issuing that vacate order.
Now, Brad, this tunnel connects 4 neighboring buildings. So have any other buildings been impacted here, and what happens next?
Well, that's what they're trying to figure out right now. In fact, that's why the other day the Department of Buildings did say that the structural integrity of this synagogue has been affected, and so they're warning people to stay away from this site. And so that's why, again, there's such a deep divide in this community, because if people thought they were trying to help the late Rebbe's vision, it certainly hasn't helped the reputation or the physical stability of the site.
In New York City,
January 8th, 2024 clashes. New York City synagogue tunnel incident. See if I can pull it up real quick. Eastern Parkway, 770 Eastern Parkway, Crown Heights. Chabad Labavitch, roughly. And trying to figure out what sect of, I don't know if they said Hasidic. Tunnel was constructed by yeshiva students. Institution. The purpose of the tunnel was to begin illegally expanding. All right, that's what they say. All right. So yeshiva students, I guess this is a college or Hebrew school. All right. They, according to this, to expand. All right, so they did dig. They did dig. All right. At first, I thought they were just taking advantage of pathways. We don't have like the full story. They may have been taking advantage of pathways that were already there from layered construction over the decades, and or they were actually digging. Either way, you can't do that. It's illegal. So we got something else here. Oh, we already showed that. And this is redacted. I shared this a few days ago in the chat. I'm going to play a few seconds.
Here, but what's behind the walls is really bizarre. Like this high chair, like children's high chairs in back in these rooms, these soiled children's mattresses. Oh. A lot of people. So again, we have a lot of questions. We don't know why are there behind the walls is really bizarre. Like this high chair, like children's high chairs in back in these rooms, these soiled children's mattresses.
Yeah, so I believe he was alluding to that there may have been some type of, let's say, ritual going on. I think that's what he was alluding to, and if he didn't, that's what I'm alluding to. I think other people of the belief that it was some type of demonic ritual going on. All right, but according to Wikipedia and other sources, says they were just trying to expand and maybe they had children in there. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there, but either way, we found out. Luke 8:17, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest. So we know they're getting exposed. And soon, look, who the biblical children of Israel is going to be known and exposed to the world, which we are. We are the biblical, the authentic, the real McCoy Israelites, all right, from our various tribes, all right. We are not Africans or Indians, some kind of mixture of a damn Moabite. We're not Moabites, all right. We are the Israelites from our various tribes. Even in what the Compact of Zondervan's Bible Dictionary tells you that we are not of Ham. So if we're not of the sons of Ham, that only leaves Japheth and Shem, and we believe we are of Shem because we fit the prophecies. We fit the prophecies in the Torah, and we fit the prophecies and the confirmations in the writings of the apostles. All right, the Gospels. We are those people. They are not. They don't fit the prophecies. All right, the Deuteronomy 28 fits us. Israel fallen away from our nationality, our heritage, all right, our religion, which is our service, has happened to us, our so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. And now we're coming back to our true identity. Yeah, and we know these people, they're not the people. All right. The people of Israel, it tells you in the Lord's commandments to go out into the streets. All right, let me pull it up real quick. Let's just play. Go out into the streets. It says highways, and that's what we're doing. They congregate in a building, in a church. A building in a public place. All right, I'll put highway in. Highways. Matthew 22. No, we can go Luke 14 and 23.
Known world, in fact, attracts worshipers from all over
Luke
the world.
14:23, and the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. That's what we're fulfilling. We're out on the streets just as our ancestors were, and compelling Israel to come in by his word, by Yahweh's power, and not by our own.
To fill it all in. And that's when there's this huge confrontation. Men, as if they were protecting sort of a tree in the forest from being torn down, they actually sit in the tunnel. Was that some followers, some members had built a secret tunnel going from other buildings into this space, which was shocking to them. They decided this wasn't okay with the leaders of the synagogue. They bring in a cement mixer to fill it all in, and that's when there's this huge confrontation. Men, as if they were protecting sort of a tree in the forest from being torn down, they actually sit in the tunnel itself to keep it from being filled in. Police are called. There's actually a huge brawl at the site. At one point, people were tearing off pieces of wood to kind of create a barricade, and eventually that results in actually a scuffle with police. Irritant gas is used, and then arrests are made. So really an unbelievable situation that actually exposed some.
Yeah, they're acting like this is the land of Israel. This shit they be doing over there in the land of Israel. To be having, the religious people clashing with the law enforcement over there. All right, so I'll leave that there. Weird tunnels. There may be some nefarious activity going on in there, including, with the chairs and the blankets. Or it could have been just they've been sneaking children in there to worship or whatever they were doing in there. But I think it's something nefarious going on. I remember they believe in the Talmud. All right, that's their main book, the Talmud, and that's a book of demons and witchcraft. All right, so Yahweh exposed them. All right, well, we got the information that the Lord wanted us to get. I'm sure there's a lot more. All right, so hope you edified. Shalom.